Okay, so now you just saw the headline here: Ziyambi exposed being the one of the most notorious criminal in the country. But I knew for some reason because Ziyambi who just threatened people. The last time I checked, he threatened his own peer for our members that if you decide to impeach Mnangagwa, you will see what's going to happen. Now Job Scala is coming out gun blazing that he wanted blood. He said if you just allow Chamisa to speak to Job Scala, then there will be blood heavy on the floor. Unbelievable. A minister of justice is threatening citizens. A minister of justice. Somebody who is a minister of justice. What is that supposed to mean? We are definitely playing games in Zimbabwe. We are playing games. All right, so if it's your first time to come across the channel and you would want to know more about what you're going to be discussing here, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ring the bell so that every time we are live, you will be notified. And also, for those that are my regulars, I want to send you some shout out and love and say thank you for coming through, guys. Don't forget to like the live so that we push algorithm and invite everyone to the conversation. By the way, I'm sorry, something happened a few minutes ago and then I just dropped the entire live, so I apologize on that one. It was my bad. Okay, now you've seen Ziyambi. Okay, Mr. Ziyambi, shout out to you, please. Today I just can't, but I have to actually have a conversation with you today. And on the other hand, also very disturbing, messages that are being dropped by Neva Masura say regarding Mnangagwa. That is after the blood of Kasukwire, Muzembi, and Nelson Chamisa. And honestly, I just want to know what you guys think in the comment section because I have my own thoughts and I will drop them right here. Okay, so hunger is terrible. In Zimbabwe, as we speak, hunger. It's sad, man. I don't want to start on this path because I know how it's going to do to your souls. But unfortunately, I have to. I can't give you an icebreaker of bad news, but you have to know what's going on in the country. People are hungry. They are hungry, and the members of parliament don't know what to do anymore. Now it makes me ask you a question. Why is Mnangagwa spending a lot of money on feeding on stupid stuff, giving chiefs cars when they have other cars? I mean, spending money on absolutely nonsense. And there are so many people who are hungry in the country. Please take a listen. Very disturbing message here, but I want you to listen to it for a reason, guys. And I also want to say to you, if you can assist, if you can, please reach out to these families and be of a blessing. We need to be a brother and a sister's keeper. Take a listen.
There is need for the donors and the government to intervene. The situation in Kariba is not pleasing at all. People are suffering from hunger, and as you know, most people, they've tried all the means to try and make ends meet. Some risk traveling to areas where they can come in contact with wild animals, and some are not even affording to get one meal per day. So if possible, the donors and the government should come and intervene because people are suffering, and some have sold all of their livestock, goats and cattle, trying to feed their families. So as a member of parliament for Kariba constituency, I'm concerned about the situation in my constituency.
You can hear that there's so much hunger in the country. Now the question I have is, why is Mnangagwa spending money on stupid stuff? Like stupid things, like cars. Look out there, splashing money across the country. The criminals right in your face. They're saying, no, we're buying people cars. And some can't even afford a meal to go, to eat. By the way, bad news, but I must say to you, my condolences to another cabinet minister, ex-minister, though he went home to build the Lord. I think his name is Shinga Dube. May your soul rest in peace. We're still fighting the very same ZANU-PF that have caused us a mess. But please, when you get to heaven, at least try to talk to Yahweh and say, we are suffering here. We want this entire party to be dissolved like yesterday. We don't want nothing to do with ZANU-PF. Never again to hear a word ZANU-PF in our lifetime. This is not working, not even for those that are in ZANU-PF. So it's bad. Again, very disturbing video that is circulating now of a Chinese employer who is literally abusing Zimbabweans. So people saw a woman cleaning the toilet with their bare hands. I'm talking about Chinese people who are very much comfortable in the country because they have protection from the politicians. They do as they please, as they please, abusing our people. But I'm waiting for a day where people are going to at least get justice in this country. Because Chinese people, some of them, not all, but some of them are very disrespectful and they are too comfortable in the country. Now the SONA, a flop. absolutely nonsense that we heard. Mnangagwa speaking. I'm expecting solutions. I'm a solution-oriented person. I'm not going to sit and listen to a person who's just actually playing games. Mnangagwa is playing games with people's lives. How do you stand in the parliament? And first of all, I want to say sometimes I feel like I need to exonerate him. I'll tell you why. Because I was shocked that there were people in parliament who were singing Mnangagwa Shibaba. Yes, I'm talking about married women and married men were singing Mnangagwa Shibaba after that speech that he gave in SONA. I could not believe it. But the news day is reporting that it is SONA and inspiring. And I've heard different reactions to the SONA. And I must say, I wanted to listen to Professor Gift Mugano regarding the SONA. Nonsense. That was, Anyway, I can't listen to Mnangagwa for about 2 minutes. Personally, I cannot. Because I think he's just, he's not the kind of person that I can learn from. So there's nothing to learn from, unfortunately. So I have to be honest. I just saw some clips there. And I wanna say, offer my respect to those that actually listen to him. Because I don't have time of listening to a person who's not serious, who cannot inspire me. I don't have time. Take a listen, please. From
the State of the Nation address, which was presented by the President, E.D. Mnangagwa, yesterday, fell short of the minimum requirement which is expected when a head of state and government comes in to issue a statement, particularly in circumstances where the economy is on fire. It was a wishy-washy statement. It was shallow. There was no depth. There were no solutions. We are facing challenges here which are multifaceted, deep challenges which are centered around unemployment. He did not address that. Challenges around supply of energy, electricity. He did not address that. Debt issues. We have a debt which is now exceeding $21 billion US dollars. He did not address that. There are no measures or instruments which are going to be used from his statement or directive which has given ministries to work around debt management. Nothing, right? We have challenges of informality, right? The informal sector is now like hyenas of the economy. They are the new hyenas which are suffocating the economy. There is no measures of addressing production to create formal jobs which can disseminate the informal sector. Nothing. Purely empty. And he never talked about the level of poverty. We have close to 50% of the population living in extreme poverty, meaning that they are living on less than $1.90 a day. Right? I never addressed that. Right? We have a currency crisis, and I saved this for the last. And the currency crisis, which has seen on Friday last week, businesses and economic agents losing their income by almost half after central bank moved the exchange rate, right? And in his own statement, the president saw it as a good move. He was actually acknowledging that central bank has done a good thing because they've allowed more flexibility of the exchange rate, which is a clear admission by himself that central bank was manipulating the exchange rate. Why the central bank has to move the rate? Now they've put it at 25 against $1 US. So what are they going to do next? They're going to put it again at 30 or 40, and people continue to lose their income along the way. It's not helping. So he did not address the toxicity in the country. We see a lot of arrests of opposition leaders. There's no country which can develop when we are divided. In his own admission, in one of his speeches, the President Mnangagwa once said that a unified nation is required for economic development. So how is he going to unify us when people are being arrested? So there's nothing. This was just one of those days. Disappointing, of course, because we had high expectations, but clearly there's nothing to take away from the statement. It was even better not to have it, because when you are having this kind of a statement, you expect something, the joker of the country, because he is our joker, he's the president. He should throw a joker to say, now we're the president, which is coming. Now, if he come and play normal cards, the way we see Minister of Finance playing their cards, and the governor, nothing spectacular coming from the president, then we are doomed. So as far as I'm concerned, this was a non-event and very disappointing to say the least.
I must say the same thing. Very disappointed with Mnangagwa's speech, actually, at SONA. But again, what do you expect? I don't think he's got the capacity to do anything, in my opinion. Mnangagwa do not have the capacity. And you must not forget also that the people within the ZANU-PF a few days ago, they made it clear that the central bank is being run like Mnangagwa's business, family business. So why are you even shocked that he just kind of wish-washed the entire, speech? He knows it's all about him and his friends and his family. It's actually very sad. But let's see what are the people from Bulawayo saying. The native son of Bulawayo also said this is the state of nation, not the nonsensical lies. And they was referring to plum trees. That there are no. Do you know that there are no ambulances in plum tree hospitals? No ambulances. So he's addressing that and said this is actually the state of the nation, not the nonsensical lies of crooked Emerson Mnangagwa at SONA. Anyone who believes anything he says is a fool. This man buys cars for his puppet chiefs, but not a single ambulance for a border town that generates income for the country. That generates income for the country. And this is heartbreaking. There are no ambulances in Plumtree. And Hezo Chipochashe, she said, empty words. The SONA hashtag was hollow rhetoric with no concrete solutions for pressing challenges, soaring inflation, shattered shops, and struggling citizens. Where is the plan to revive our economy, address food shortages, and ensure a better future? I would ask the very same question. Let me just say, Mnangagwa, we're simply wasting our time. And I've been saying this guy is wasting our time. he does not even have a clue of what I don't know. But at the same time, I also want to blame his children, because if he was my father, I would tell him, Daddy, this is actually not working. It's not working. Find a way to change. I mean, the direction. And some people may argue and say, no, buddy, don't forget, this is kind of there's this military. Guys, you are president of the country. You can put the military to order. If they want, you will tell them, I'm out of here. You guys can do whatever you want. Look, the country is falling apart. Look, people are unhappy. So if you don't want to do the right thing, I am going to leave. That's what I'm expecting from him. That's what leaders do. I mean, I cannot lead a place where I know I'm going absolutely no. I'm going to say, take your position. I'm out of here. So I don't understand that a man who have been in government for decades cannot stand for a principle and do the right thing. I don't get it. But anyway, we need to move on. You also know that Ziyambi is being accused of being the most notorious criminal in the country. I must say this. The last time I heard Ziyambi threatening citizens, that was in ZANU-PF, where he said, if you guys think you can impeach Mnangagwa, you must know that you're in trouble. I knew this guy's a dangerous guy. And the question I have is, why is the Mnangagwa always employ people who are pathetic and disgusting? Like Ziyambi. Ziyambi is known that he threatened Sikala in prison. And you remember the issue of Nelson Chamisa that he was not visiting Sikala in prison. Now Sikala came out and said, no, I actually met Chamisa, but we were now worried that if we disclose that to the masses, then people can be killed, because Ziyambi said, if you just allow Chamisa to meet Job Sikala, there'll be blood on the floor. Ziyambi. It's, guys, okay, let me drink some water. So Ziyambi from the street, who left his mother, his wife's house. Okay, Ziyambi is married. He's got a lot of scandals around him. I remember last time that the woman from the Tripus was being accused of actually vibing with Ziyambi, but it's not Ziyambi is married. But I'm just saying, Ziyambi, a married man, a father who has got kids in, some of his kids are in America there. That's where they're studying. Ziyambi's kids has the nerve to pick up a phone and threaten another citizen. He's a citizen, remember? The only difference is he's got a title of being a minister. That's the difference. But he's a Zimbabwean citizen. He has the nerve to pick up the phone and phone the prison. And he's the Minister of Justice, let's not forget. And then told the prison officer to say, if you allow Chamisa to meet up with Job Sikala, there'll be blood on the floor. Huh? A Minister of Justice, an individual on the street, is phoning the prison and told them to not allow people to meet, there'll be blood on the floor. And everyone just think that is normal and we let it slide and we keep moving on. Why is, yeah, these people need to be locked up in prison. Ziyambi needs to be locked up in the very same prison that he has been, presiding over. He needs to be locked up. This guy does not deserve to even be a minister at all. He does not have the characteristics. And I'm saying this, in fact, I want this message to reach out to be the army or the office of Mnangagwa. One of the reasons why we have no respect for this administration is that they're running a country like a toilet, where everyone can do whatever they want to do. You can say whatever you want to see and get away with it. There are no consequences. In fact, the fact that he's even opening his mouth, Ziyambi, and even say that, and still come out and say, I'm a minister. I wonder why these people look so filthy. And I'm sorry. I know there have been people who have been attacking Ziyambi. And I must say, life is governed by principles. When do you get the time to clean your teeth? People have been talking about his teeth and mocking him on social media. And I thought that was disrespectful. But now, considering what he does to the people, I think he deserves it. Because when are you getting the time to go in, at least clean your teeth, when you only spill vile towards the people, when you only spread hatred in the country? Where do you even get the time to look after yourself as a man? While I'm still there, Zimbabwean men, hear me out. Look after yourself than spending your money on useless women on the street. Look after yourself. But let's listen to Job Scholar. He said very, very serious things that actually is shocking. I'm even worried about the ZANU-PF Terrence who is in prison. Again, who spilled quite a number of things. A lot of things that are happening within ZANU-PF. No, guys. Now, I'm waiting for a person who's definitely going to be dealing with these evil guys to make sure they are locked up. That they're locked up. Right? We need to listen yeah. Take a listen, please.
At least you want to bury my blessing Ali. And from that time on, people have been calling me names. Some people who came and demonstrated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is your view?
Completely nothing. I felt nothing. These are people who could, of course, there was a lot of insults, but I was laughing at them. These people who do not understand the character that has been built on me when I was in prison. I am a hardened warrior. So when I had some of the boss of insults and grandstanding and so on, did you see myself being shaken and even being moved by those people who have been doing those funny things at More Blessing Ali? I just looked at them and then proceeded with bearing the More Blessing Ali. I was concentrating more on the business of the day. So some of these things, they do it, they insult, they do whatever they want and so forth. It's up to them. I wish them the best, but myself, I cannot be moved completely. I laughed at some of those people who have been talking a lot of uncomplimentary things against me. It's up to them. Let them continue doing that. It gives them satisfaction. And myself, I don't really care. They can proceed and enjoy whatever they want to say about me. But frankly speaking, I am not moved at all. I am a hardened warrior. I'm a completely different animal. If they think that the Job Scholar who went in prison is the same Job Scholar of today, they are mistaken.
And what is your relationship with your former president, Nelson Chamisa?
What you have to understand is that we have got relations that have been built over a long period. That's why you see that I find it very difficult for me to speak anything ill about Nelson. I can't even find it in my heart and in my conscience for me to get satisfaction to speak ill about Tendabit. No matter that we differ on political ideology and belonging with Charlton Wende, Westman Mube and others and many others, I find it extremely hurtful to me to speak ill about them because we come a long way together. Even if we are going to choose different ways of how we are going to run our state of affairs.
I will not find pleasure or satisfaction in me in having any conflict with one of them. That's why you realize that I have never talked ill about anyone. And I think you know, Nelson tried to visit me. He came to Chikurup Maximum Prison. And contrary to what the people of Zimbabwe have been saying, I've been just seeing it and laughing. That me and Nelson did not meet when he came to Chikurup Maximum Prison. That's a complete lie. When Nelson came to Chikurup Maximum Prison, we met and we talked. But strategically, you know, it was at that material time, it wasn't prudent for the world to know that he met me. Strategic. On the basis that when he was talking to the officer in charge in the Chikurup Maximum Prison, Ziyambi followed the officer in charge, threatened him with death, that there will be blood on the floor if you will allow Job Scala and Nelson to meet. And then we met by the entrance of the gate to my prison cells. When I was going back, then Nelson was coming from the officer in charge. So then we met and then we had a 5-10 minutes chat. So some of these things people would not know, and you allow those people who do not have the knowledge of people's relations for a long time to speak what they want, but ourselves, we know each other. I will not take pleasure to insult my former colleagues. We come a long way together. We suffer together in different ways. Even if we part ways, we must be able to part ways in an amicable way, because we haven't taken each other's wives. So that's it, my brother.
So the wife is a problem.
Douglas Monzo also visited you.
Yeah, I couldn't want to meet him because on the basis of the following. At no particular point did he ever make an effort to condemn my arrest. I've been following the news of people who have been speaking against my arrest. Douglas Monzo never condemned my persecution, unreservedly. Only for him to say he wants to come and see me. When you have not condemned that my arrest was purely a political persecution, you simply want to meet me so that you for your own intentions and purposes, which I did not understand. So that's why I refused to meet him. Not on the basis that I hate him, no. I don't hate him completely at all. But I did not understand the agenda of his visit. If it was defined to me, if he was somebody who could have hold a press conference condemning my persecution, I could have welcomed him. But he did not. He just came from nowhere. And the way how it came, and the way how the prison security officers, who are almost the branch of the CIO, begged on their knees for me to meet Douglas Monzo, led me to completely reject it. Because I knew that when you see these people who are maltreating me here, coming now to begging on their knees for me to meet Douglas Monzo, there must be an ultra motive. So that's why I refused to meet him. It was on those bases. If he could have been one of those people who have been consistently attacking my persecution, as having been contrary to constitutionalism, the rule of law, and democracy in our country, there was no way I could not have met him. But he simply came without even issuing a statement. And also, there was some information that was brought by one of the relatives of the guy whom I was with in prison. What was his name? At that time, that member of parliament from Chitunza, not what is his name? He told me that he has received information that there was some meeting that was held in Mount Pleasant between Ziyambi, Douglas Monzo, the CIO, people from the judiciary, to discuss over my case, and that they were intending to dispatch Monzo to come to court, to come to visit me at Tichkulip Maximum Prison. After his visit to Tichkulip Maximum Prison, he will come out and then pronounce that he will fight, and he will pronounce that he will fight to make sure that Job Scala is released. So when I was going to be released from prison, it was going to appear as Douglas Moncho was the one who has played a major role for my release. Initially, when this guy whom I was with in prison told me that thing, I tried to assess it at an intelligence level and see the authenticity of it. And then I told him that no, in intelligence, when you get the information, for you to prove its authenticity, is for you to see when it comes to pass. So let's see. So 2 weeks down the line, surely the man comes. And I said, oh, what you have been saying, you were correct. So this is the mission. So that's why I refused to see him. It was based on those things. I want to be frank with you.
And lastly, you are one of the most arrested. Yeah. And also most acquitted. Yeah. But is it because you're just reckless?
No, it's on the basis that the regime, completely from the beginning in 2000, they've been completely mischaracterizing myself both in the political market and so forth. They've been trying to sell an individual who is violent, somebody who is disposed to anarchy, and who does not want to engage in logical politics. I always want to fight and so forth. So this has been the narrative which ZANU-PF has been creating, and their propaganda machinery over my person. That I am a violent character. I want to deal with ZANU-PF and overthrow it violently. And so for them to satisfy themselves by saying we want to put brakes on him, unless they will simply arrest and throw me outside and create just a lie. These people can just create a case like what happened to Jacob Ngaruvume. They simply just created a lie, fearing that maybe he is involved on the pre-SADC summit demonstration arrangements. When I know for a fact that Jacob Ngaruvume was not even concerned about that about those things because he is my friend. But they allege that he was at the allegations against him is that he attended the meeting at Jameson Timber's house. He is one of those people who have been throwing stones and stoning the police. Honestly speaking, things that are unbelievable and that have never happened. Because Jacob Ngaruvume himself, when he talked to me, said, I've never met Jameson Timber all my life. But he is in prison for that. So these people simply just create cases against you when they think that you are a threat for you to throw them inside. And also there are quite many things that I was told by one of their own. This former minister, or the former deputy minister of finance, what is his name from Harare East? Terence Mkupe. I met him when he was in prison and he told me substantially amounts of things that ZANU-PF have been plotting against me, which I'm not prepared at the present moment to share with the public because I don't want to risk him. Because some of the things that he told me are scary and shocking.
Yeah, that's Terence Mkupe. Remember Terence Mkupe? Remember the guy that they took his land as well? But anyway, I'm not even bothered when they fight within their camps, and I'm not even worried at all because they are the ones who have been pushing all these wickedness in the country. They deserve it. They need to drink their poison. In fact, some of you in ZANU-PF who haven't drink the poison, you have your day. Your day is coming. You're going to drink your very same poison that you've been cooking over the years. So I'm not surprised. But you heard Ziyambi. To me, Ziyambi is a criminal. He is a criminal and he must be arrested. You know, one thing that I realized about Zimbabweans is that, like not Zimbabweans, but most people within the ZANU-PF is that they are foolish. They thinking they're going to have Mnangagwa as lead forever. Mnangagwa is getting younger per day. Very soon he's going to sign out. Nobody's going to be here forever. You are so dumb to a point where you can't even see that you're creating problems for your future. You can't see it. That you're going to be held accountable. Do you think you're going to be protected forever? No, it doesn't happen like that in life. So I can't wait to see these people going down. And I'm not even saying it because I'm evil. I want them to understand that in life, you treat people the way that you want to be treated. And in life is governed by principles. When you sow evil, it will come with consequences. And now moving to Douglas Monzora. I'm not surprised why he was embarrassed last week. Mr. Monzora, stop playing dirty games. Because when you play dirty games, it's going to come back to you. These are your seeds. You know, everything that you do in life, you are simply doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for the other person. It's funny that there are people out there who feels like when they're doing wrong, they're like, oh, maybe I think I'm doing it for someone else. No, you're not. Whenever you mistreat a person, you're not doing it for the person, you're doing it for yourself. Okay, I want to tell you what once happened to me. I visited someone who kept on insisting that I must visit them. First and foremost, I don't like visiting people. I don't like it because I love my space. I love my house. I love my peace. And also I'm very mindful of the energy that I collect around. And I don't want to be around people's places. But this person kept on insisting and pushing. Eventually, I said, okay, after I found different people to get to understand who the person was, I went. And funny enough is the person eventually treated me bad because whatever they were expecting, it did not happen. Because I'm not an easygoing person. You don't mess me up. Okay, Holy Spirit. Okay, I'm not an easy. You don't mess up with me. I'm very much principled, guarded. You can't tell me at the age of 42 you can break the walls. You don't break the walls easily. It's not easy. So, but when I came back to my house, I remember asking God, and I said, I need to speak to this person, tell them that the way they treated me, I don't tolerate it and I don't take it. And I did. And the person apologized, though, but you know what? I knew that they actually sown a wrong seed for themselves because they don't know who I'm going to become tomorrow. And I want you to keep on being able to speak to me. Because you may look at me now because you don't know where I'm going, right? You undermine where I am. But dude, I've got a vision here. Tomorrow you will be shocked of the woman that I'm going to become. Or I'll be shocked about the people that you're going to become. Because all of us, we have vision. We have aspirations, right? So I want to say it when Ziyambi. Ndikukunzwira itsitsi because I can see kuti mangwana mucha dona zvaje kuti mutatokuti okay, and I can just only come and tell you about Jesus because I know Jesus can restore. That's what he does. He specializes in restoration, in the restoration. So I'm always going to be there for that. Guys, sow the right seeds. People of God, sow the right seeds. ZANU-PF people, please sow the right seeds because mangwana so that no kuza. At least I'm telling you, right? All right. And munoti mashuraka boilis. What do you say? Mashuraka boilis. I think that's what I'm seeing right now. So Mnangagwa, okay, the president of Zimbabwe, E.D. Mnangagwa, he's receiving a donation. So I'm going to tell you how funny this is. So it was sent out by Nick Mangwana that this morning, His Excellency, the president of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa, on paper, he is, received a donation from Mapositori for ED and Mazioni for ED at State House in Harare. The donation consists of 570 hospital beds, 560 wheelchairs, and 1.2 units of sanitary wares, right? That is Mnangagwa. The president of Zimbabwe is receiving these hospital equipment from Mapostori and the Zion Church for ED, right? And they always say that ED stands for economic development. Now, I've got 200 people here. Please, I'm asking you to like the live push algorithm. I need 100 likes before YouTube pushes the algorithm. Now, the donation was handed over to Mnangagwa. So the president of a country is receiving me bed Ayema hospitals and my wheelchair. I said the president of a country. I'll be sick to hear that Ramaphosa is receiving my basic hospital and my wheelchair. I'll lose my mind. Maybe it's because Zimbabwe is a small country. I don't know. Because what I'm seeing there is something so strange. I'm expecting Mnangagwa to do big things, not this. But now the irony here is that we all know that Mapostori don't do hospital things, right? We're much aware of that. They believe in, you're going to be prayed for and whatever the case may be. But all of a sudden, Mapostori for ED have the interest of actually equipping the hospitals. What is that supposed to tell you? Who is behind all these shenanigans? Your guess is as good as mine. Because Mapostori, the last time I checked, they don't get involved in hospital stuff. Sir, whatever you think it is, that's exactly what I'm thinking it is. And who is behind it? That's exactly what I'm thinking. The person is behind the people. And then that's when someone asked and said, how Pasniki, the religious group party's child marriage doesn't vaccinate children, nor necessarily believe in modern medicine, donate hospital equipment. How can that be? That's the irony here. All right? And then Akasim said, Doc, my pastor used to coma me gomo and make household utensils out of junk cars way back. These are not my apostles. These are mbavas and criminals, members of the criminal syndicate of Emerson Mnangagwa. And you know, it's some of his boys. That's what people are saying on social media. That's why I always say, if I was Mnangagwa's child, I'm always a firm believer that any generation that does not improve from the previous one is a failure, right? Yeah. So my children should be in a position of saying, Mama, this is not okay, Mommy. No, we can do it better. You know, the president's children should be kids of etiquette, classy, you know, because of the way they get raised. For some reason, this family is always being robbed in a lot of scandal and shenanigans. I don't know why. Because honestly, I'm expecting Mnangagwa to be opening huge factories. Right now, I mean, with all the money that we have in the minerals, but we are struggling to actually be able to equip a hospital, even buying medication. It says a lot about Edie. It says a lot about him. And by the way, guys, you know, yesterday, there was a robbery that happened in Bulawayo. Did you see that? You know, South Africa has got those kind of criminals. But we have known about the haste when they do kind of bomb these trucks and get the money out of the trucks and all. And sometimes even people, you know, from the streets can also benefit from those criminal activities. But what I saw in Bulawayo was quite very interesting. You know, people were so doing it openly, going around, carry the boxes and put in another car. I must just say, I think there was some inside job that happened. Of course, you know, when there's a lot of poverty, people do things because they're desperate, all right? But not that I'm promoting any criminal activity at all. But there are so many very interesting reactions to what happened yesterday. You saw the video is circulating online that, first and foremost, that truck actually had a number plate in front of it. Did you see that? It had a number plate. The last time I checked, when criminals are looting, but you also know that they create a fake number. You must not forget, criminals, even in Johannesburg, they create fake numbers because you know why they do that? It's then if the vehicle like department try to jerk, they can't find the number. It's simply so that if they move around with a number, nobody can suspect anything. So that I'm just, for that reason, I'm going to give them a list of a bit of grace. Now, reactions are that are going on social media is that it may be Mnangagwa's people. Now, I'm going to read that's from Majara Jaros. He said, if the 4 million is linked to the State House, forget about those 6 armed robbers being arrested. Probably more opposition leaders, human rights defenders, journalists will be arrested. Zimbabweans must realize that the campaign to extend Mnangagwa's rule needs funding. And we also tagged Auxilia Mnangagwa. By the way, I can't confirm or deny, but this is what people are saying on social media. These are their reactions. Now, you went on to say, broad daylight robberies in Zimbabwe are well above the board. If you imported a 4x4, particularly Toyota Hilux, Ford Ranger, and Isuzu, Zimra will come after you on behalf of ZANU-PF official fundraisers asking for more money. They will tell you your car was an undervaluation. Right, he said they are fundraising for a campaign for Mnangagwa to remain in power beyond 2028. Those who fail to pay for the 4x4, the cars are going to ZANU-PF structures. I'm not surprised about today's 4 million haste. It could be a fundraising exercise executed by pro-dynasty fundraisers. SONA is referring to the ones that are working with the comrade Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Antonio, the CEO for TechMag, you know, TechMag is also TV, said, since I am a conspiracist, I don't think there was ever a robbery. Maybe it's just a sideshow, pure diversion and agenda setting. But you also know, I can kind of, you know, align with him because I'll tell you why. we all know that the same people within ZANU-PF are the ones that are controlling all these banks. We know that. So once we see some drama thing, we're like, hold on. We know you criminals, most of you are criminals. So you are always playing gimmicks and games with people's minds. But again, let's give the police Zimbabwe time to do their job. But what I saw yesterday, it wasn't sophisticated. It was like, we are very relaxed to do whatever we are doing. There are scarves there. Not a scarf, but some, those, what you call them, the one that we used to wear during the time of the COVID-19. We used to put some stuff there. So that's what they were wearing. I did not see them. I expect them to put those, what you call them, the dark stuff, what call them, what? Band clovers, whatever they called. I forgot the name, actually. Because one day I was almost being shot when I was working for a company, and these guys followed a woman who had a very expensive ring. And that's why my husband, whenever you are a brother, when I buy expensive ring, I can only wear it once in a while, maybe because I can't move around with that, because I know there'll be danger if I'm a stew in South Africa, you know what I'm saying? So I remember that woman had a beautiful ring, diamond ring. So they followed that white woman to our workplace. And I used to work for someone at that time in the property industry. And my desk was very close to the window. So when they came with that woman, as she parked, getting into the premises of that company that I was working for, the armed robbers followed her, and they came. She parked exactly where I was there. And because I screamed and other people were like sleeping, and they pointed the gun at me, they were like, "Yeah, you better shut up," and they were taking the ring off that woman's. But anyway, I'm here, praise God. So these were different, very relaxed in the way they were doing. Go there and take and walking there, very comfortably, and do whatever they were doing. So to me, I'm like, is this the kind of robbery that you when you take millions of dollars? $4 million US. How much is it in rands to actually keep you up to speed with my understanding? So $4 million US. How much are you in rands? Okay, I'm very good in maths, but for some reason, I'm going to be a bit gracious. It's about 220. No. 228. How many? Dollars. Please, to cry out loud. $1 million in rands. So I'm gonna convert this in rands. How much is that going to be? So we looked at about 69 million rands, 974, almost 200,000. That is in substitute. So 69 million rand was taken with people that were working, like delicately, doing as whatever they wanted to do. And now you tell me that was just a haste. My drama is unfair. Okay, like I said, I can't confirm or deny, but for some reason I just kind of maybe be on the side of these guys and said, don't waste our time. I'm waiting to see what's going to be happening with police Zimbabwe. I'm waiting for a statement to come out that they are taking action, or something have happened, or they are arrested. There were quite a number of lies last night where people were saying, oh, they've been arrested, and then we come back and they say, no, but they haven't been arrested. So a lot were happening. But tell me what you guys think. Was it really a haste? Was it, were these people really thugs that were stealing from nowhere? Who, number one, knew that the car was parked outside at that time? And they come in, everything was well orchestrated. Fake number plate, I guess. I don't think it's actually, because the moment you put a correct number plate, the police can get a person immediately. So I think it was a fake number plate, and very much comfortable in their doings, move around, freely, and do as a police. Do you think that was a robbery? I haven't forgotten, actually. Remember the video, the audio that was circulating about a guy who claimed to be an ex-army official who said that who was narrating how Ted Zamara disappeared. Do you remember that he mentioned that because Zimbabwe has got a special group they call SARS, where they train criminals, hardcore criminals, and they can actually release them to go and commit real hard criminality, and then to prove that they are now good, they are now fit for purpose. Do you remember that story? I haven't forgotten. It's still like stuck in my head. So let's see where it's going. We are following the story very closely. I can't wait. I know police Zimbabweans are amazing. Mutora Shanga is also on record being the most like well, smart, wise, investigative branch. So with all their wisdom and counsel, I'm waiting to see how they're gonna move as far as this story is concerned. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think it was a robbery at all? Or is the games of ZANU-PF? Because they know that this SONA thing was a flop. You know what I mean? It was a nonsense. People are going to be talking about that. Now they're throwing a dead cat strategy. So because now they know people are wiser as far as these issues are concerned. They know when it's a celebrity, people are not going to buy it. But now if we say it's robbery, now you're going to say, oh, okay, now everyone is talking about it on social media. We are forgetting about SONA, right? Again, we all know even the SONA thing was all a game to me. You know, I want solutions on the table. I want to see innocent people being taken back to society, removed from prisons. I want to see solution to hunger problems that we have today. The moment I don't see those solutions on the table, I know everything is a joke. It's a game. And I don't have time for games. And I also don't even have time for gimmicks. Now we're going to move on. We're going to move on. I've told you, Neva Masura say is just dropping things that are dangerous here. That Mnangagwa is after the blood of Kasukuwere Muzembe and Chamisa, but I'm going to read these tweets. Very dangerous tweets though, very dangerous. He said the fights between Mnangagwa and VP Chiwenga have reached an all-time high, with Chiwenga telling Mnangagwa he has no grassroots support. Meanwhile, Mnangagwa's operation to eliminate rivals is being led by General Moyo of the MID faction aligned to the dynasty cabal. He said specific details of the operation are that Chiwenga, Rugejisanyo, Ate Honorable Kasukure, Walter Muzembe, and Nelson Chamisa must be neutralized, eliminated as soon as possible to prevent a potential whirlwind that seems to be tormenting Mnangagwa in his dreams daily. I must also say that there's a lot of sometimes lies that are just going around social media. People want us to discuss things that are not even, but by the way, I can't, like, these kind of tweets to me is, some are saying Mnangagwa is not going to stay. He actually want to go. For sure, he wants to go. But then there's a lot for him to lose. There's a lot to lose for Mnangagwa. It's a fact. There's a lot to lose. Okay? there's a lot to lose for Mnangagwa, for ED. And he said blood is now literally on the floor, with various hit teams having been tasked to carry out the mass slaughter over the coming weeks and months. The South African contingent of Honorable Kasukure and Walter Muzembe must be found dead in their cars or burned in their houses. Oh, really? That's interesting. But knowing these guys are very much smarter, they don't have time. These guys are, I mean, they've been in ZANU-PF for a long time. They know how ZANU-PF operates, so I don't think they're that dumb, honestly. And yeah, I mean, who's stupid now? Who can be fooled now in 2024? People are smarter. They protect themselves. So now, for those that may always ask you questions, how can I identify a good man or woman to marry? Okay, simple. I can give you what I think, but I think I've got pastor who dropped a bombshell, which I think you guys would want to know. How can you identify? I've seen quite a number of people coming to and saying they are following, they like some of my commentaries on the marriage part. Stick around. I'm turning 42 in February, so stick around. You are listening to someone who has got experience, who know how many operates. I spend my time studying men, so I know how they operate. But anyway, let's listen to what the pastor is saying. If you are looking at getting married, you want to be married, and you know, you need to know how to identify a good person, a good wife, or a good husband. Oh my God, what happened? A good husband or a good wife? But I'll tell you what I think. It's unfortunate that most people are more, I think most people are not intentional. That's why the divorce is high. They are not intentional. They are more, motivated by what they see more than who they are. Okay. So as a Rumbi, there are things that I like, the things that I don't like. I spend my time getting to know who I am. And I always say to people, if you really want to be able to know who to marry, spend your time knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, you also know who you can be around and who you cannot be around, right? Yeah. So Rumbi is a teacher, as a Bible teacher. She's someone who's very much a family-oriented person. She's a lover of Jesus Christ. She's a lover of people. She's a giver. Rumbi is a love of life. She's a happy child. So because of Rumbi's personality, she also has to look at a man who has those, who can accommodate those personality, right? The person has to be in a position of understanding what Jesus Christ is about, as someone who also believes in a family, having, when I say a family, I'm not just saying having children, I'm talking about living in a peaceful home, where children thrive, where children are happy, where children succeed, right? I'm talking about a person who believes that we need to have a vision for a family. We need to have a vision for a marriage, that this marriage has to succeed. We can fail. A person who is not more materialistic, who is more always want to mind people's business. I'm not that kind of person, right? I always want to mind my business. I'm happy where I am, right? So you need to know who you are and what you're expecting. If you genuinely want to get a good partner. And again, I don't know how to put this across, because I know that we're in 2024 and I don't want to project my beliefs or my lifestyle on any person, but I'm a person who would really think, if you are wise enough and you are a man or a woman, a single man or a single woman who genuinely want to have a good partner, please try to remove sex on the equation. I'm just telling you to say it will help you to be sober and really get to start someone. Because sometimes you may find out you can actually spoil a relationship once you expose yourself to that point. Maybe a man was genuine, maybe a woman was genuine. But the fact that you guys have introduced something that is very much secret and important earlier, there's a possibility that it can just mess up everything. Even though the person genuinely wanted to marry you, now maybe he thinks, what's the difference between you with all the women that I've met earlier on, right? But let's just take that one off the table. And I've always been preaching that. I think I'll be saying that's the first thing that you need to consider. The second thing, never underestimate the power of upbringing, how a person has been raised. I know it sounds weird, but family is everything, and family has an impact. There are people who were raised in families where they're always moody. So when I want to communicate to my parents, I can just be moody because my mama is moody. I'm also moody. I'm simply giving you an example. So when I want to communicate, if I'm angry with a man, I'm just gonna be moody. And then maybe I'm angry with him and doesn't even know why am I angry with him. So he's also stuck with all these problems, right? So I'm encouraging you to really start family values. What are the people standing for? Who are they, right? Because it will automatically help you to know what you're marrying yourself into. I know some people may argue and say, but the family is not important. No, don't lie to yourself. Family is important. But you must also remember that there are some children who came from very broken families, but they've chosen, right? I'm 42. I'm turning 42. So 42, very close to 42. I think 5 months to 42. So that's why I always use 42. Because I'm an independent person. I left my daddy's house when I was young, and I've been working all my life, and I've been an independent person, right? So as much as I have respect and love for my family and my daddy, they don't really have so much influence in what I do. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm an independent person. Even though I honor and respect my family and I love them and I care for them, but they don't have so much influence because I decide what I want to do and what I don't want to do because I can stand for myself, right? So for that reason, someone may come from a very broken family and then still be able to say, hey, I've chosen good for myself. I don't care what my families can do. I love them though. So that takes a lot of wisdom and understanding to be able to separate the two. So this is why marriage is not for kids. The Bible was clear. It said, he who finds a wife. It didn't say he who finds a girlfriend. It never said that. It never said he who finds a child. It never said that. He who finds a wife. Because a wife means before you come to a marriage space, you must be a wife from your mother's house. Okay. I know some people get married when they are young. All right? Fair play. Because if you find good counsel and your parents were hands-on, because some parents are hands-on when you're young, they teach you almost everything when you're young. And 21, 20, 23, 24, you can get married and succeed. There are marriages like that. But if you do not get enough counsel in terms of being raised as a good person, Honestly, I encourage you to take your time and educate yourself about how the world works and how human beings function and how men actually function. Men and women are different. So then you're able to know how to be a good wife to someone. That's my advice. If you're a man as well, study women. How do women ask you questions? You can ask me. I'll tell you how women behaves. And then you are able to understand how to deal with a woman, because women behave differently. Listen, I as a woman here, Rumbi, I find it difficult to actually relate with certain women, and most of the times I always say to my family, I dare you. I have respect for men. I can't even begin to fund them if I were to stay with that woman. You understand? Which means most women are complicated because we have always been a culture of people that are being raised among competition. No, but did you see what happened in Mom So-and-so's house? You see, Ismano Kwanegi is married. You see, she's doing well. She just had a degree. So we are a competitive people by nature, women. So that culture kind of move us wherever we go, and men kind of struggle with it because now we are competitive in many ways. We are always jealous of one another because I wish maybe I could be like her or like someone else. So you really need to understand how women operate. And as a man, just be a good person. There are so many horrible men out there. I'll tell you facts. There are horrible men. There are also horrible women out there. People who are just disgusting, we've got terrible energy to be around. So don't even think about that. Maybe a man has got stuff. I know women, you're crazy sometimes. Oh no, but a man has got things. Just because a man has got a car and a house doesn't make him a good person, right? Just because a woman has got a job and a degree doesn't make her a good person. You need to learn to study people. Being a good person, it boils down to upbringing, how you were raised. Were you raised as a good child? In a family where mama issues, you're always happy. You love each other, you believe in each other, you pray for each other, you support each other when someone is in trouble. Are you that kind of person? Because when you marry, nothing changes. You are simply moving from an extension of your family as well. That still requires support, love, respect, honor, integrity, humility. There's nothing that changes. So you really need to be honest with yourself. That's all I can tell you guys. If you want to get a good wife and a good mom, first of all, be a good person. Because there's no way you can demand a good wife. In fact, you may actually get a good woman. But if you are not a good person, you may be the one that will destroy that relationship because you're a bad person. Or when you meet a good woman, you can actually say, oh, I think that is too good to be true. I've met men like that. They're like, oh, no, but I think that woman, she's too good to be true. No, I need to see some toxicity to feel like she's a human. No, they expect me to be toxic. And I'm laughing. I'm like, I can't see around toxicity, so I can't be toxic. But it takes understanding, though, to know that people are not the same. People are not the same. And some people are just authentic. It's their nature. And you can't change, because honestly, I can't sit here and teach you what I'm teaching you when I'm fighting with my own demons of toxicity. I can't. I can't smile here if I'm fighting with my own toxicity. It's one thing to have challenges in life. That is normal, right? I can actually make financial challenges, or someone is sick challenges, but toxicity of being an angry person, jealous of people, I can't be jealous because you know what? I've got so much to do in my life. Oh, they worry about so and so. But it takes wisdom to be able to identify people with good traits. You have to be a good person yourself. That's why it's easier for me to see. I can sit from a distance that this person is horrible. I told you I visited someone once. Every day when I'm praying, sometimes I pray for that person to say, God, change his heart. This guy, I was shocked. It takes me just one encounter to say this person is horrible. It's how you treat people. Treat people well. If they come to your house, treat them properly. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You can treat a janitor the same way you treat a CEO. I always say this to people. If not a president come to your house, Obama comes to your house, you're going to jump up and down and do the right thing. Oh my God, everything should be in order. Oh my God. But when somebody, an ordinary person comes to your house, what do? You treat them like trash. It says a lot about who you are. You should treat everyone the same. Treat people the same way you want to be treated. The only person that may get special treatment, God knows what, if I get married. For now, is a single person. In my house, everyone gets treated the same. Same plate. Nobody has got a special plate or special cup. Nobody has. No one. Absolutely no one. But if I get married, yes, maybe daddy's going to have a special cup, a special chair, a special, because he's a husband of the house. He's a leader. He's a king of the home. I get it and understand that. You see this, but you can't mistreat people and expect the blessing and expect good. It doesn't work like that in life. So if it's your relatives comes, you're smiling, right? If a married woman, your family member comes in, you're smiling. From your family, I'm talking about you as a wife from your family, right? But when it's your husband's relatives comes in the house, you're getting angry. You are moody all the time. You mistreat them. I know a lot of people who do that. I know a lot. I talk from what I know, not what I've heard. You're a horrible person. Treat everyone the same. If you want goodness your way, you need to give out goodness. Most of us, we are poor because we are simply mistreating people. Zimbabwe is poor not because of all that you guys think, because they are mistreating people. You can't mistreat people and expect joy and expect success. No, it says a lot about the kind of person that you are. Once you give out bad energy, it says a lot that you are not a good person. You are a horrible human being. That, one day I was actually thinking, and I'm still going to ask this question one day. God knows. When I meet Kasukiro one day, I'm going to ask him questions. The day that I'm going to meet him, I'll ask him. Even I can ask any person who is in ZANU-PF today, who supports ZANU-PF, to say, when you hear that innocent people have been jailed, what's going on in your mind? When you hear that innocent people have been killed, abducted, and tortured, what's going on in your mind? Don't tell me that you're just going to say, I don't know, I'm not the one. No, what's going on in your head? Because it says a lot about you. More than it can say about the people that actually committed a crime. If in my family, my brother, he may be listening as I'm speaking, maybe he's listening to me, my family knows well. If my brothers, I've got 2 of them. Oh no, I've got lots, because my cousin, all of them, they're my brothers. I love them, all of them. I believe and I love them. If one of them abused their wife, I'll be the one at the door to take that person to the police station. I would take my family member to the police station. Do you understand? I'll be the one who will be parking the car, putting the car to the police station to make sure you're locked up. You know why? It's because once I let you get away with that, it says a lot about me. I should feel very uncomfortable that you are mistreating someone right under my watch. You know why? Because I don't want to be married and be mistreated because I've allowed wrong seeds in my family to germinate under my watch. It's a problem that we have, most of us. Women, we want good husbands. We're praying, oh my God, I want a good husband. But you're terrorizing women who are married in your family. It's a principle. If you want goodness, you're going to sow goodness. If a man, don't beat your wife. Don't abuse her. If you don't understand each other in terms of communication, I want to teach you something today. Because I know there are very toxic women out there. I can tell you the truth. You would rather separate for some time. You don't have to fight. Hear me out. Don't raise your hand. Don't do that. Put it in black and white. Write it down. If you have got a computer, type it out. I don't want the way you're treating me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in black and white. Ma'am, this is one of the reasons why I'm going to be leaving for some time. Giving you your time to work on yourself, because I don't want to be part of this toxic energy. I'm not going to allow you to disturb my work, disturb my peace. No, I love my children. I care for them. I'm even can pick them up and go and do whatever I want, but I'm not going to be part of it. Let me tell you, most of those women will start reflecting and change their behavior. Because once you're head on all the time, you're seeing each other and there's fights all the time, it escalates. It escalates to my bed because you are always bumping into each other. Get a breather, breathe. Just leave the house for some time. I know some people may say I'm promoting wrong. No, I know how human beings work. Some people can only know your value when you walk away. But once you're in their camp, they don't see your value. When you walk away, they now start to say, oh my God, I needed this person. I did not appreciate whenever they buy food in this house. It does not matter how cheap the food was, but the bottom line is with actually feeding you. First and foremost, women need to understand that what men are doing, some of you don't even deserve it. Holy Ghost. Yeah. You don't even deserve it. Do you know that people are sacrificing a lot to put food on the table? And you think it's your right. It's not your right. You must be grateful that at least you've got someone who's buying you food to eat. You've got someone who actually clothing the kids, who's paying the rent to have shelter. Who actually says, I love you. Okay. If you want to look for a good person to marry, you become a good person. All the qualities you are looking for in a woman, write them down. All the qualities you are looking for in a man, write them down, and you become those qualities. You see, you attract exactly what you're looking for. Guys, if I marry a man who is a bad man tomorrow, I guarantee you that will not happen. You know why? Because I'm a good person, and I know how to identify a good person. I spend all my time studying people to identify good men. Even some of the men that people say are bad men, I actually know that they're good men. I know that because I can see how they treat people. That they were bad men because they were provoked and pushed to the edge and they reacted and then they turned to be bad people. If you push me to the edge, people who know me well, if you disrespect me to the edge, I'll turn to a lion, but I'm not a bad person. But if you cross the line and disrespect me, I'm going to show you the other side of me that I didn't want to show you. You never know that it existed. So before you accuse people of being bad, ask yourself questions. What did you do for them to react the way that they did? Especially good people. If they've been good to you. If a man have said, I love you, and you guys were vibing and holding hands, and what went wrong? What happened? Okay, someone can say kids came into the place. Fair play. Now give you more time then, and let the children know that they're also going to grow and have their partners and be in love. Yeah. You are my child, I love you, but I'm going to give you daddy some time. Because daddy is my husband, he's my friend, not you. I'm my child. There's a difference. You see this. You are my child, I love you. Okay? I care for you. But if daddy's back from work, I'm going to have to look after my husband. Why you sit there wherever you are? That's a wise person. Children can't come, because your kids are going to be your husbands tomorrow and wives tomorrow. So a wise person needs to understand how to divert and how to work your time. It's as simple as that. Rumbi is a single person at 42. Leave Rumbi alone to prepare to go and get married. Is she a bad person? No. Rumbi wants to be a good wife. So she has to work on herself to be a good wife. Whoever is complaining, no, say, oh, ma'am, you have your own life. I have mine. Don't worry about me. Do you, I do me. You see this? It's understanding and knowing how to just communicate with people in an amicable way. Yes, I want to be a good wife. So please give me some time to work on myself. And while you also work on yourself, if you're a student at school, focus on your education. If you are married, focus on your marriage. Don't worry about me. Right? If you are the aunt who's minding people's business, stop. I have brothers. My brothers can testify. I don't get involved in their marriages. But if they've got a problem, they'll phone me and I can be there for them. But I don't care what they do in their marriage. It's none of my business because I've got my own life. Unless when they fight, they'll see me there at the door to make sure there's harmony and peace. I won't allow that fight because I'll say, not under my watch. You're going to love each other even when you have nothing. You're not allowed to be angry. You're only allowed to be grateful. You understand? Wisdom is profitable to direct. May God gives you understanding. I love you, and God bless you, and God bless Zimbabwe. So please, Mr. Ziyambi, you need to stop your nonsense now, because I, as your sister, I will not let you abuse people under my watch. I will call you out till Jesus come down. I love you guys. Have a good one, and happy Friday. I'll see you later on when we do the cooking in the evening. I'm going to be cooking tonight, so come through. Let's have a chat while I cook. Yeah, any question you want to ask me, please bring them along. I'll be answering you those questions. I'm going to be cooking tonight. When I cook, I dress up for cooking. So you know what I mean? So you need to come on and just have some party with me, y'all. I love you, and bye for now. Oh, boy.